Otherwise, yeah, I feel like we have more negative priorities than we do positive.
I think we're live. Yeah, but it didn't give us a countdown thing. It's okay. We'll just kill time for 5 minutes.
Is it actually live?
Hi, guys. Hey, will someone give us, like, a comment if they can actually see us and hear us? Ah!
They can?
All right.
Why did it start early?
Well, it started early because I thought there was, like, a preview thing. Oh. Normally, we can, like, preview.
Oh, we don't know how to do this, evidently.
Yeah. Hi, guys.
Comment.
Thank you for the comment.
Yeah, obviously we don't know how to live stream. We never do it.
Because the internet
our
sucks.
internet is too bad. We're actually currently sitting in the parking lot outside the gym here in Taos because we discovered that the gym has like the best Wi-Fi in all of Taos. It's
possibly
kind of
in all of New Mexico.
Yeah, possibly in all of New Mexico, meaning it actually, like, I don't know, I guess I'm assuming you guys can see us and hear us better than usual.
Well, I mean, people are saying hello, so...
Yeah, there you go, that's a good
We're obviously somewhere.
Sorry, we're frazzled because we weren't expecting to start 5 minutes early on surprise.
It's okay, you guys get a sneak preview for an extra 4 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like we should... No, that's okay, we'll just go into it. We got someone from North Carolina and California, and yeah.
Well, okay,
awesome.
So since we only have 30 people right now, everybody tell us where they are from.
Yeah, it
Ready,
gets
go.
way too crazy when you do that.
Yeah, you do that with more than 30 people, it's like way too much.
But obviously we are in New Mexico, we're in Taos, land of terrible internet.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Except
we got
for the gym.
New Hampshire, Florida, Tennessee.
Singapore?
No
My
way.
little sister lives in Singapore.
Yeah, Macky's baby sister lives in Singapore.
That's awesome.
Victor, Idaho.
Another Idaho, Kentucky, Virginia.
Wisconsin, Nebraska, New Brunswick,
North
Boise.
Ontario, Canada.
Someone else in New Mexico.
Nice.
Yeah. Farmington, yeah, New Mexico.
Farmington, yeah.
Yeah,
Virginia, Ohio.
And OH.
It could be just be me, but y'all seem happier since you've been in New Mexico. Same thing happened to me. Alas, I'm in Tennessee.
We do love New Mexico.
We do
really
love New Mexico.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City. It's Phoenix Matt.
Kalamazoo. Yes,
Kalamazoo.
we did go live early on accident because we don't know how to do live.
Yeah. It's not our strong suit because we never have good enough internet. So we were just telling the people who were really, really early along with us that we're sitting in the parking lot of the gym because it's the only place that has decent internet in all of Taos.
That may not be totally true, but it's the only one that we found.
Yeah, and this is like, this is what happens when you're a YouTuber and you live in a van, is like places with good internet, you like find them and like star them on your Google Maps so that you can find them again.
And we don't have any stars in northern New Mexico.
0.
0.
No,
we
it's
have
in
one.
northern New... Yeah, no, that's true. We have
one.
this one spot. Trump follows you. That's pretty funny. Mammoth Lakes, California. Another Singapore. Wait,
I think it's the
that's
same
safer.
person,
Okay.
but still cool.
Tennessee last week. Western Massachusetts.
Sweet, people from all over.
Yeah, this is cool.
Awesome. We're almost to the time when we said we were
Almost time for true living.
You guys are early, which is awesome. Oklahoma. What is a boomer sooner?
Yeah, what's a boomer sooner? Andrew McGaha.
Sounds like a code name.
What's it a code name for?
I don't know. Like a dog. A dog's code name?
This is my dog. His name is Boomer Sooner.
Books about Boomer the dog.
I don't think I ever read these books.
I don't really. It was like Boomer goes to school and Boomer. Okay. No, nobody? No one? No one on the Boomer books?
Not me.
Alright.
I did not read about Boomer.
It's actually not that hot right now. It is sort of beautiful. Someone wants to know how I got Mackie into mountain biking. Good question.
That is a good question. She smiled at me sweetly, and I was like, I'll do anything you say. Oh, it's the University of Oklahoma chant.
Cool. Alright, so it is 7 o'clock. We are actually starting this first of all, thank you, all of you who are here and who aren't here watching this later, whatever. Thank you. We are at 30,000 subscribers.
Let's do it with this hand. High five.
That was like our goal for this entire year, so that's like pretty awesome.
Like a kind of big deal.
Yeah, so we figured we'd sort of tune in and let you guys ask some questions, and we've got some questions from our patrons that we got earlier, and yeah, we'll just talk. We can start with an easy one. Someone asked if we can ask about our wedding rings, which you can. They are...
I'm not wearing mine.
He's not wearing his.
But I'm still married, I promise.
They're from a company called...
Over here.
Oh, there it is. From Kalo.
That's spelled Q-A-L-O.
It may or may not be pronounced like that.
I think it's pronounced Kalo.
Kalo, yeah. And they're silicone, so they will not take off your finger
if they get caught on
something. Or,
and you can squish them and flip them and lose them down the drain. That might have happened to Sid's first one. But then to replace them, they're only like 25
I've gone
bucks,
through 3 already, so it's really good. Or this is the 3rd.
Yeah.
So it's really good that
they're not expensive.
They're not expensive wedding rings. Someone said, censor on the topic, how did we meet? That is a question that we got on Patreon as well, so that might be a good first question. We met in college. Basic, I know. We actually met because Mackie was washing his bike outside of one of the dorms and
flexing my muscles. No, okay, not actually. I was
racer.
just ignoring everybody and washing my bike, minding my own business.
Right. And I was a freshman, and I already rode mountain bikes, and I didn't know anybody who rode mountain bikes, and so I saw this guy out washing his bike, and he had a pretty nice bike. I don't remember the good guy.
And she was like, he's really cute.
And so I went up and introduced myself, and then he was like, let's go ride sometime, and then he flaked on me. Do you remember that?
No.
No.
But it's possible.
It's
Sorry.
He jumped off a rock and hurt your foot.
Yeah, and I wasn't even riding my bike.
Together.
I was supposed to go ride with Sid, but then I hurt my foot not riding, which I swear is always how getting hurt happens. Anyway.
Yeah, so that's then several years later we actually got together.
Yeah, so at the time, I was dating somebody else. Were you dating anyone at the time? I don't think you were.
I don't really remember exactly when it was that.
But anyway, we went through like multiple relationships while we were friends, and then got together, and now here we are, 8 years later. Okay.
We're probably gonna miss questions in this chat, so y'all know what to do if you have a really pressing question that you want to make sure that we get.
That would be super chat for those of you who don't know.
What to do.
Super chats, we see. We have a whole window open for super chats.
Hey, Paul, the punters in the chat. What's up, Paul?
Yeah. I think we should jump to patron questions.
Yeah, we had some really funny questions.
Yeah, we opened this up to patrons first because, we were trying to figure out. Yeah, they make it happen. And we
our most recent one was, who's your favorite Patreon? That question is off limits. That's like asking who your favorite child is.
It's obviously you, Greg. You are our favorite patron, obviously.
That's always the answer. Like if you ever ask your parents, like, who's your favorite?
They're like, you are, of course.
I hate all of you.
Start at the top. Let's just work through it.
Start at the top. Thanks, XC Ben. You're not even making us answer a question for
He's
that?
the first question, though. We're going to answer your question. This is perfect.
Wait, we already did.
Oh.
That's where did we meet?
Oh. Man, we're so good we didn't even know we were doing it. But thank you very much, XC Ben. We totally appreciate it.
Someone said, how old are we? I am 28.
And I am 55. No, I'm 31. Okay, what's the second question then?
Second question from Leo. You know it's going to be a good question when it starts with, I know this is a borderline rude question, but I'm curious enough to ask all the van life people I know, how does living in a van affect your sex life? We did not discuss this beforehand. So I'm going to say what I think is that our entire relationship has been out of cars or vans. So for us, like, the answer is kind of like, it's normal. Yeah. So no news. I think probably to really help Leo out, because I'm assuming he is thinking about moving into a van and is worried about his sex life. Probably,
Good
if
point.
there is anyone in the comments who has been in the situation of living in a house and moving into a van,
They
here's
might
how that
be a
affects
better,
things, they
yeah.
might be more helpful there.
But our rooftop tent, it is plenty tall enough to sit up in and to move around in, and it's plenty long enough. So we'll just leave it at that. It does not affect the sex life, but thanks for asking.
Thanks, Trails to Ales.
Trails
that
to
is
Ales.
Awesome.
Really
and
appreciate
you have a
that.
question on Patreon, so we
Yes.
will. Let's see. Okay. Race day focus.
Okay.
Starting over.
Sid is reading the question.
Race day requires focus to get into race mode. He's talking about him and his wife Laura. We part ways to get our minds around what we want to accomplish that day. At what point on race day do the two of you get into race mode and sort of forget about each other as you prepare to compete? Or do you?
That's a great question.
Someone says we're getting awkward. Really. Of course. Would you come here for anything else?
Exactly.
That's a really good question. I think the more you race, the later you can kind of snap into race mode. And I think enduro racing really teaches you that faster than other race disciplines, because you do like 5 or 6 stages in a day
And you have
sometimes.
to get into race mode for
And you
each
can't
stage.
stay in race mode. Some people do, and they're miserable to be around. Like,
Yeah.
try to stay in that hyper-focused race mode the entire time.
And then you're like, wow, you are really a
You
jerk.
lose a lot.
And you realize that like they're actually just in race mode. So yeah.
You lose a lot of energy doing that too, I think. So,
Mhm.
like, the best enduro racers are, like joking and laughing and hanging out up until, like,
30 seconds.
15 and 30. Like,
Yeah.
pretty much when it starts going beep, 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 then you're like, boom.
Yeah.
So, I guess that, for us, I think
Well,
we're
I think
pretty
the
good.
other
Yeah.
part of that question, which I'm guessing is what Trails Tales was asking about, is
Did you think I misinterpreted the question?
no, but I think if you like thinking more from a cross country perspective, like if we're both racing a cross country race, frequently either we start at different times, at which point like whoever is starting first like starts doing their warm up, and the other person is like, I'm just gonna like hang out by the van so that I'm available to help out however I can. And so like, you know, let's say Sid's warming up. If she like comes back and is like, I need to check my air pressure, then I can help check air pressure. And if we are starting to race at the same time, which happened in another one of the races we did this year, we did warm up together, and that worked pretty well. But it's like we both did our intervals at our own speeds, and then like got back together and spun easy. And so I think really the real answer is that we don't really like go our separate ways for racing.
Not, like, intentionally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
That answered that question.
that was a long answer.
Someone said, "Do we get into cross-country racing in high school?"
I wish.
Yes and
Well,
no, though. Like, I think basically there was no NICA league, so there's no high school racing when we were in high school, so nothing like that. I did do my first XC race when I was like 14, but I was real sloppy. I dropped my chain and had to wait for my mom to catch up to me and put it back on.
That's hilarious. Really?
Yeah, do you not remember that story?
Oh,
I'm sure.
man.
I'm
so
sure.
you didn't know how to put your own chain back on?
Well, it was stuck. I was 14.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
was 14.
Uh-huh. That's what they all say. Anyway, thank you to Scott for the smash the like button.
That's the thing.
I agree with Scott. You should smash the like button.
Yeah, because
Bam.
then more people, theoretically, more people
Yeah,
see.
theoretically more people.
I don't know if it's true.
Yeah.
Conspiracy
Hey,
theory.
there's 99 people in here right
Which
now.
is a lot.
But there's only
That's awesome.
31
Oh,
people.
33.
33
Look, people are smashing that
you
button
guys are
as we speak.
smashing the button.
Ooh.
And then MTV Kevin, thank you as well. Yes, it is happening. This is happening. And then Leo caught us live. Yes.
Did you miss your question though, Leo? We already talked about sex in the van.
Yeah. Did you miss it? Oh, I hope
if you
not.
did, we can. My mom's weighing in on this story, and then apparently after she put she put my chain back on, then I still beat her to the finish.
After you,
I don't actually remember.
after she helped you put your chain on,
Yeah.
you ditched her.
Probably. I don't
Wow,
recall that
kids are
part.
mean.
I don't recall that part.
So Leo says that he did miss
Oh
it.
damn.
Yeah.
Well, the short answer is that our entire relationship has been in cars or vans, so it's not really
Basically.
like we don't really have any advice to give. I guess.
We don't have good advice because we don't have anything to judge it against, really.
Ooh, interesting random question. How often do you run a different front and rear tire? All the time.
Most of the time?
Most of the time.
Almost all the time?
Sometimes we go double martello. I've got double martello.
Yeah, double martello for enduro. Yep.
But usually, yeah, we have a different. Just we like different stuff on the front. I like big knobs on the front and.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
like.
this is a bad transition.
That was a bad transition. I am with Sid in that like a beefier front tire gives you traction, and then you want to like figure out what rear tire you can get away with without like flatting it, because obviously there's going to be more weight
more
on the
rolling
rear.
resistance in the rear, but you don't need to like dig the knobs in as much.
Yeah.
However, we will say that Mackie might have paid for his low-profile rear tire this weekend a little bit.
See?
Yeah, so that happened.
Oops.
Nothing's broken.
Nothing's broken.
It'll be fine, but
Yeah.
It'll make a good video.
Yeah.
It was gnarly.
It was pretty gnarly.
A case of like everything was perfect, but he just like couldn't slow down enough before a thing.
A thing.
So that's a hint.
That's a hint. Hinting. Okay, what's our next Patreon question here?
Well, why don't you talk and I
Okay,
can't read
well,
and
let's
think
see.
at the same time.
Would we ever upgrade our van to a Sprinter or a ProMaster? If someone gave us one, yes. Barring that, probably not,
Yeah.
because that's expensive.
The Fords are like so bomb-proof. Knock on wood. Yeah, knock on wood. I mean, but even if they do break, like, just everyone can work on a Ford E350 engine.
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing with the Econo lines is they're cheap. Like we paid $8,000 for this vehicle.
Yeah.
$8,000.
So we have no car payment.
No car payment. Yeah. So
Anything like that.
$8,000 we paid for it. Anyone can work on it. I can work on it. Like I have fixed things on our van by watching YouTube videos, and you can buy all the parts at AutoZone. So Sprinter vans, not so much. ProMasters probably fairly easy to work on comparatively, but I don't know. We love our van. But like I said, if somebody gave it to us, then we would definitely upgrade.
Chump MTV says, "Did I miss my question?" No, you did
you
not.
haven't.
But we were just gonna do another Patreon question.
Yeah.
So.
Perfect.
Heading to Angel Fire in 2 weeks. Be your first time riding the park. I know you guys know the place well. So, any tips or advice for a newbie? Just in general for park riding, like, I think we know a lot of people who go and are like nervous about trying a downhill park because maybe they just have an XC experience. Especially these bigger parks, like their easy trails are probably like way easier than your local XC trails. Like, they're often like because they are made almost for people who don't ride at all and show up, rent a bike. So like you shouldn't be intimidated at all by like taking a small travel bike to a bike park. Like you just want to be like smart about which trails you choose and like.
The other thing I would really, really recommend is pacing yourself, because it's like, sure, we're just going downhill, but
You'll
honestly,
still be
like
super tired.
2-3 laps, especially at Angel Fire, which is a really long mountain, and you will start feeling it, especially in your upper body.
It's a big mountain and it's a rough mountain.
Yeah, so like don't be afraid to like do a lap and then relax and hang out a little bit and then do another lap and like space them out. If you're like, I'm gonna try to get 10 laps in right at the beginning, you, my friend, are going to be very sore.
Especially if you're going for multiple days, like go easier the first
If it's
day.
multiple days, like do when you're like, oh, I'm at like maybe 75%, stop there. And then the next day you can kill yourself. Not literally kill yourself, but like go all day.
What are the must-ride blue trails at Angel Fire? Obviously Boulder Dash. Boulder Dash is the classic.
It's the jump
super
flow trail.
Fun.
It's awesome.
Cannot go wrong.
If you like rocks, go find Mini Boogie. Is it a blue?
Mini Boogie.
I think it's a blue.
It's a blue. It's a blue.
A hard blue.
It's a blue.
Yeah, it's an Angel Fire like rocky
Angel Fire
blue. Yeah,
but it's really good trail.
really good. Yeah.
But that is Mini Boogie because Upper Boogie is the double black and is like it's real serious.
Skip Upper Boogie, ride Mini Boogie.
And then Lower Boogie's kind of like Lower Boogie.
Well,
I do like Boogie.
No, you do Mini Boogie into Diesel. Into back into Boulder Dash.
No, I was saying I didn't like Lower Boogie, but I actually like Lower Boogie. I don't like Lower Upper Boogie or whatever that middle.
Upper Lower Boogie.
Upper Lower Boogie. I don't know. There's a middle one that I don't like, but this is.
We're not going to worry about it.
We don't need to get into that. But anyway, have fun at Angel Fire. You will love it.
It is awesome. Free time says, "What's up? You guys are awesome." Oh, thanks. You're awesome too. First XC race today and did well, thanks to the tips from your videos. Hooked on racing now. Yes,
That's
high
awesome.
five. That is awesome to hear. That really has become our, I would say, our focus this year is like
Yeah,
trying to
sharing that
share
race experience and
Yeah.
sharing that it's not like I don't know, most mountain bikers aren't racing because they're pro or want to win. Just like it's just a really awesome way to see trails and like be part of a really cool community. So
and
yeah,
meet cool
it's great
people.
to hear that
Yeah,
somebody did a race and had fun. So
that's a perfect example of why we encourage people to race. Like, it's just fun. And it's also awesome that you did well.
it's raining in the van. Hold on, let me
What?
shut the window. I just got a raindrop.
It's raining?
Look,
Anyway.
there's a raindrop on my arm.
A single raindrop.
Rained in the
We're
van.
having 10 inches of rain right now, guys. That means that the raindrops are 10 inches apart.
Yeah, that's what it's called in New Mexico when you have a 2-inch rain. It's like
Yeah.
the rain is
Rain
2 inches
2
apart.
inches
That's
apart.
a real amount of rain here. Not this year though. Actually, it's been raining a lot.
Trails to Ill says, coming back from a crash that hurt confidence and body parts. Once the body is healed, what's the best way to repair the confidence? Oh, this is probably, wouldn't you say this is maybe the most common question we get?
Yeah, it's probably the most common question.
We
and
are
there's
planning to do a video
Yeah.
talking about some of the mental parts of mountain biking.
The crash one though, I really think it just takes time. Like there's no, and I think there's no
no
real
silver
need
bullet.
to like push yourself to get past things. I think
Mhm.
that probably would just lead to more frustration.
Yeah.
Um,
I would say if you've crashed and it was like a feature, then go like find other features that are easier that you feel like confident on and do those until you're like feeling really good about it, and then potentially go back and look at the feature that caused the crash.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you
Or,
say, like,
yeah, or just like do the stuff that you find fun for several weeks. Like
Yeah.
just have fun.
Yeah, just in general, just have fun.
Yeah. Favorite restaurant for burritos? Oh,
Well, I mean,
That's
we
a hard-
did just go to the
we
Guadalajara
literally
Grill
just ate
right
at the
before
Quad
this.
in Taos.
Yeah.
Because we have to be in town for the internet.
Yeah, yeah.
So we did not make food tonight.
Yeah, no, we went and ate
and
burritos at the
the
Quad.
Quad
We actually
is
got
very highly
chimichangas
ranked. Yeah.
also.
We mixed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
The
So
classic
for those
burrito
of you
may
who
still be the favorite, but
yeah, for those of you who don't know what a chimichanga is, it's literally a burrito that has been deep fat fried, which is awesome. Just saying.
do we road bike?
We do.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, okay, so Sid has a gravel bike,
I have a gravel bike.
and I have a cyclocross bike,
We ride on roads.
and we ride on roads, a lot of time gravel roads. And yeah. Give me 1 second here.
It's delayed.
Boink.
Yeah, so I guess we road bike. We don't like road race or anything.
Yeah.
Like,
We did in college. It was
Yeah.
really entertaining.
it.
All right, Mark D says, speaking of Angel
Thanks
Fire.
for the super chat.
Yeah, thanks for the super chat, Mark.
So,
Would my 150, 140 bike be okay?
Yeah, yes,
Oh, yes.
that would be great.
That's
Yeah.
a fun. We've been riding, or last year we were riding the Portal there regularly, and the Portal is we have our setup 140 in the front, 130 in the back, 29er.
That's
Super
good.
fun.
Yeah, the
Super
160 is good
Yeah.
here too. I think the thing with having the smaller travel bike you have at Angel Fire, it's just like you're gonna get tired faster because
Yeah.
especially by the middle of the season, like there might be a lot of braking bumps and
Mhm,
stuff. But
mhm.
in terms of like that size of bike is awesome for like any of the features or like the trails or like Boulder Dash, like super fun on that size of bike.
Yeah. No, you will have a blast on a 140, 150
Yeah,
bike.
140, 150.
That's a good.
Yeah,
that's
especially
a good size.
29er. That's probably
Yeah.
that's a decent sized bike for sure.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
The only way to get that, yeah, that's not true.
Yeah, so
XC Ben,
we are
don't worry
responding
about
to
that.
XC Ben, who says people say that the only way to get faster for mountain bike racing is riding a road bike. Definitely not true. We have until last
Your
year.
best, I feel like your best year, Mackie's best year as an XC racer was 2012.
Yeah, probably.
And I don't think you had. I think that was like the year you sold
Yeah, I
your
sold
road
my
bike.
road bike in early 2012, and then basically like rode my mountain bike, did intervals on my mountain bike, trained on the mountain bike. You do not need a road bike. That being said, they are pretty fun.
Yeah, I think we didn't have road bikes until we got the ones we have now last year, and we really did get them not even for training purposes, just because like road bikes are starting to be fun again. Like gravel bikes are actually fun, and like it's been really cool because we've been able to do like kind of adventure rides where we might hit some single track and like dirt road and pavement and stuff that like on a hardtail mountain bike would be like kind of, you know, just be slower.
You can do it,
Because
yeah.
and pavement on a hardtail mountain bike is like better than a full suspension, but still not great. So yeah, I'd say definitely like we got the road bikes just like for fun, not because like, oh, you need to have one.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
yeah, there's no
need, but it is fun. And yes, it is the Jameis gravel bike,
yeah, it's
which
the
is the Renegade.
I have the Renegade. Mackie has their cyclocross bike.
Yeah, the Supernova.
But I think he's a little jelly of the Renegade, actually.
I'd like to try the Renegade. I haven't actually ridden the Renegade, so I would like to ride the Renegade.
Will we ever come to the Northeast?
Here, let me see your phone. I'm gonna look at other.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously, as we were talking about earlier, we went to college in Vermont, so we have spent a lot of time in the Northeast. We raced ECCC collegiate mountain biking races in Pennsylvania. I grew up in Ohio, riding in like West Virginia and Virginia. So yeah, we probably will make it back there eventually.
It's not that we don't like that area.
The riding.
It's just that we are
Pennsylvania riding is so good too. It's
Yeah,
just, like, so rocky
totally. And like
gnarly.
Vermont, awesome. Like we raced in Vermont, what, 2 years ago?
2 years ago, yeah.
And like we like the riding there.
Yeah.
We're just based in the Southwest more,
Yeah.
and so it's hard to justify it. And also, to be totally honest, it's harder to live in a van in the Northeast because it rains and it's wet, and like living in a van in the desert is easy because it's like, oh, it rained one day, and then the next day you hang out all your stuff and everything's dry, and it's
there's a lot more like for van living, like there's a lot more space. It's a lot easier for us to like
find places to camp.
Moab or Grand Junction, St. George, like all those places, it's like super easy to camp for free.
So that's part of it.
MTV Lifer says, are we going to do a group ride at Outer Bike in Bentonville? Yes, we are. We are going to do 2 actually, and we will be putting up sign-ups for those soon. We are going to cap them, which we don't want to do, but we did get a little...
Well, there's only 2 of us.
There's only 2 of us, and to make it safe. But we're going to do a like no-drop beginner ride that'll be super chill, probably at the Slaughter Pen trails, and then we'll do, I think on the Sunday of Outer Bike, we'll do a ride at Kohler, which will be for more advanced riders, and we'll stop and session things and do some skills work. So we are going to put out those sign-up sheets to our patrons first, and then they will be up on the Outer Bike website. So if you want the first opportunity...
First dibs goes to patrons.
And then it'll probably be happening super soon, and then that'll be out
probably
on
like
the Outer
in a
Bike
week,
site.
maybe less. So yeah, that is what we will be doing. So we had a question from Jody. He says, what is your routine for bike setup before a race? Do you plan for last minute changes? That's a great question.
I used to make fun of Mackie because I felt like before every race, like 10 p.m. the night before, he would have to change something or bleed his brakes before like every race.
I did not do that on purpose.
So it wasn't unintentional.
That was unintentional. And I also never felt like that was true. Sid just always said that was true. But anyway.
It was true.
We, as much as possible, we try to figure out during pre-riding what setup we want. Like if we want to change tires or we need to change like bikes or change suspension. Like we try to figure that out during pre-riding. Because pre-riding frequently happens the night before, or like the day before, that does sometimes mean that we are doing stuff the night before. We try to minimize that, and it's mostly only if like the conditions change significantly. Like if you're pre-riding and it's all nice and dry, and then it pours rain, you're like, okay, probably time to like swap tires and things. Besides that, we try to minimize that.
Pre-riding for enduro is also like a really great way to break things on your bike too. So There's often a
If
lot
you're
of just
pushing
like
it, yeah.
fixing things
Fixing
happening
things.
more
Not
than
really changing things.
Yeah,
it's
maybe not
just fixing
changing things.
Yeah. Let's see.
What aspect of BC bike race are we most excited for?
Ooh, good question.
I honestly like love these multi-day races for kind of like the community aspect of it, and it's just like super fun to hang out with people every single night and just to not have to do anything other than
Race your bike
and recover,
and sleep.
eat, and like hang out. Like it's pretty luxurious, really.
It's basically like
except
doing
for the hard XC racing
well,
part.
if you did it but weren't racing serious, like if you were just like, I'm just gonna treat this as a tour, that would be an awesome way to do these races, because it's like I get up in the morning and ride my bike on trails that I know are, if not closed to the general public, at least unlikely to run into the general public, because most people are probably smart enough not to hike on the trails after 50 people have passed them. And then like you finish the race.
Except for that guy with the dog in Grand Junction.
Yeah, but we don't talk about the guy with the dog.
I like ran into a dog during a race
dog.
stage last weekend. I was like really upset about it actually, because the guy was just like had his dog off leash and was like walking along with the dog around a blind corner.
Here's a trick. If you like to hike and you end up on a trail and someone comes flying by you and looks and has a number plate on, you should probably turn around, because it's not going to be fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, so treating these races like BC Bike Race, Andes Pacifico, all those as just like a bike holiday is really cool. It's fun to like finish the race and have somebody feed you and have somebody set your tent up for you, and like,
which like it's a bit of a holiday for us too. I feel like
totally.
Even though we like are definitely gonna race hard, like it removes some of the like other logistics and like harder part of racing that
Are y'all rear naked? Are we basically? Are you asking if we're sitting in just shirts right now? Yes, you figured it out.
Not actually.
No, not actually.
Here's my knee for proof.
Here's my knee for proof. Here's my knee for proof. Oh wait,
he's wearing shorts. It's okay, nobody freak out.
Okay. Will asks us, how has YouTube notoriety impacted your racing? Is it distracting, encouraging, or a combination?
I think mainly encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there can be times when I wish I wasn't filming things.
And like in general, like all of you awesome people, the comments are like positive and encouraging and supportive, and like that makes it really fun. That makes us feel like we're part of a community who is excited about what we're doing and supportive. And then like every once in a while there's just that jerk who leaves a nasty comment, and like
usually it's funny, but like every now and then you'll get like a comment that's just like
it like
and you
somehow
just like can't get it out of your head.
And so those are the times, and I don't know what it is about human nature, but for some reason the like negative ones have more of an impact, or like you think about them more. And so that can be really frustrating, because like you're trying to like help people and like do something cool, and then like somebody's like, I'm gonna rain on your parade, and you're like,
Yeah, I think that the thing that can sometimes be frustrating with YouTube is that there are like a lot of people out there who are simply just like negative to be negative, whether it's like towards us or towards other people or towards like what we're doing, or like that you're just like, this is frustrating a little bit. But I would say like almost all the comments we get are like people who are positive, and like
I'd say it's like over 99%, which is really cool.
And as far as the like YouTube algorithm counts, like all comments and thumbs down, thumbs up all count as interactions. So it's all good, really. Like you'd rather have people interacting one way or another, but I don't think it affects like racing that much, but I think sometimes like it can be a drain sometimes. Okay, what is the next one? By the way, guys, we are
if you have just tuned in recently, we're reading questions from our patrons. You probably can't see
As
that.
well as
anyway.
questions in the chat.
Yeah,
So throw
as
them
well
in
as
the chat.
questions in the chat. But
It just moves really fast.
yeah, the
sometimes,
chat
so.
ones go really fast. So if you have a really important question, super chat, and we will definitely see it that way because those ones pop up on a separate screen for us. All right, Riding with Old Guy says, okay. I'm asking about is a really low point that you pulled through. Like, do you encounter challenges riding or traveling, injury, van troubles, etc.? And like, how did we get through that, basically? I would say just
everybody
like
has challenges.
yeah,
I think
just like anyone.
If it looks like we have our shit together all the time, then
We're doing
you're
a
not
good
working
job.
hard enough. No, just kidding.
No, it's like no, everyone has challenges, and you know, part of it is that we have each other. Honestly,
Yeah.
like we both are able to support each other, and like if one person's down, usually the other person is like, "Hey, it's gonna be okay. Like, chin up. We got this. Let's do." Like that is really helpful, and just frankly, the like comments and messages and that kind of stuff that we get from people.
Yeah.
That makes it worth doing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
When someone writes, like, who was somebody?
No,
Oh, dang it! Oh yeah,
Anyway.
like free time. When he says like, I just had my first XC race today, and like partially I was inspired and like got tips from you guys, and it was successful. To me, I'm like, okay, like we should keep doing what we're doing. Like this,
Yeah.
we're impacting people in a positive way.
Yeah.
So for me, at least, that's yeah.
I thought the question that's okay. Well, the question was like if we had like super low times. I think we're both generally like pretty positive people. I would say like we had a rough year in 2017 because we were just like trying to do like way too much,
Yeah,
and that sort of like
was hard.
I just like was way overtrained and ended up getting really sick for like a long period of the summer, which was horrible, and like we were just like doing way too much. I think that's kind of our tendency, and then eventually it catches up to you and you burn out, which is not fun.
Yeah.
Any plans on racing Leadville? Nope.
Well,
No
that
offense.
was easy.
No offense, but probably not that one, to be honest. Like, I get that it's super iconic, but I think there are like so many 100-mile races in the U.S. that I would do before that. And I also don't see myself doing that many 100-mile races, so that probably puts Leadville pretty unlikely.
Pretty low.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say my main reason for not